Password therapy. Mitkatpa. This is for my parents and my brother who have always been there for me. Introduction. Password therapy is a playful, inexpensive, non-harmful, and easy technique for helping the brain to enhance certain frequencies and reduce others. Researchers have proven that people who think negatively and who use negative expressions and comments are more prone to being stressed and discouraged, depressed, and unsuccessful. The opposite is found to be true. People are more relaxed, happy, and successful when they think positively, decisively, and surround themselves with creative and positive people. The ideas of peacefulness, graciousness, quality, rationale, adapting, self-control, acceptance, goal, and so forth secure us from negative circumstances. The passwords we use to open different technological devices each day may appear unfruitful. However, it has been found that they can serve as a capable technique for the human mind. People turn into the words and expressions they say the most of time. If you use specific passwords many times, you consistently say positive, supportive, elevating words to enhance your life. The ideas of tranquility, consideration, quality, rationale, adapting, discretion, acceptance, reason, and so on secure us from negative surroundings. Writing a constructive and reasonable specific password as a motivational tool is a unique method from a mental perspective. This practice, adopted pleasantly for the duration of the day, may remove the inclination to experience unfruitful negative feelings based off the subconscious thought. A person could reduce his depression by making passwords that emphasize his or her desire to accomplish a goal. Time will tell whether password therapy will pick up in a big way in the future. However, information proposes that most people stick with what's not difficult to recall. It is encouraged to include special characters or numbers in the password and scramble the words so the code isn't so natural there is no opportunity for a leak in stealing your login information. Writing a constructive and sensible specific message as a password is an astounding concept from a psychological perspective. This practice, repeated daily, may balance the propensity to experience positive feelings. The ideas of the power of positive thinking are easy to create and can even be practiced by children. They are successful and powerful techniques that will assist and enhance your communication and relational abilities with people and make you become someone people want to be around. Although positive thinking may not come easily to you, there are a lot of incredible motivations to begin developing positive thoughts and lessening negative talk towards oneself. It doesn't need much effort to think of simple non-negative phrases. Positive insistences are phrases of what you want to achieve as a short-term goal and repeat over and over. They are advantageous to you because if you are continually making insistences, you can't be thinking in negative terms. The way you use positive intuition expressions is essential, and it includes you endeavoring devoted efforts to recollect and rehash the same positive sentences again and again. As it were, you may be replacing the existing negative thoughts with the positive sentiments that obstruct your mind. To make your positive thoughts successful, they ought to be said in the present moment, and it will provide you a reward of an emotional surety. The basic thing to do when changing your mental attitude is changing the way your communication goes. The greatest difference between two people is their mental attitudes. For some people, learning might be something that is pleasant, exciting and energizing. For others, it could be a drudgery thing. There are also those people for whom learning is simply normal, something that is needed of them making progress toward a decent occupation. It is essential for your decision on what you need to do and what you desire to become. Positive mental attitude. When you choose to have a positive attitude, you will begin to perceive a lot of constructive qualities in people and overlook their faults, and then begin to make more beneficial friendships and good relationships. This sort of positive attitude will make a better and positive surrounding around you. If you make a positive thinking your necessity, you will naturally make an incredible presentation and expression. Normally people are attracted to the kind and lovable personalities, and a pleasing first impression can have a big effect on the improvement of your future connections and relationships. Positive thinking is extremely helpful for your well-being. Indeed, a few scientific studies have shown that people with positive vibes are more averse to experience the ill effects of stress and depression, and they get sick less than the people with a negative attitude. As a rule, negative thoughts are the basic cause of uneasiness. Just change your thinking attitude and you will change your life. That is the reason, dealing with our thoughts is dealing with our well-being. Positive people are more prone to be fruitful and successful than the negative ones. When you will incorporate positive intuition into your life, you will recognize that achievement gets to be simpler and it's not as intense and difficult as some people think. Basics of password therapy. Law of resonance. You may recall this from when you were in school. All sound resonates at a particular frequency, empowering just energy of a harmonious frequency to append to it, making your physical results, or, when two energy fields vibrating at distinctive frequencies are united, the resonance of the two must meet. The higher frequency will be pulled down to lower, the lower will be raised to the higher, or they will unite at some place in the middle. Scientifically, if there is an object that starts to resonate at a certain frequency, and there is an alternate comparative object close by, it will likewise start to resonate at the same frequency. You may have seen the tuning fork experiment in the school laboratory. One tuning fork is struck, making it murmur. Another tuning fork close by will likewise start to murmur as one, despite the fact that it has not been struck whatsoever. In password therapy, your brain is allowed open to the frequencies matching whatever you're looking for: achievement, relaxation, or memory. These presentations empower your brain frequency to change and a harmonious match that specific frequency. You have to choose a password as per your desire on what you want to achieve in the short term and repeat it almost daily. For instance, if you are struggling with funds to go on a vacation abroad, telling yourself each year, "I will go next year," is going to be rejected. An enormous bell goes off, and the thought is thrown aside. You experience this whenever you feel fear, safety, or uncertainty about any new thoughts you have. Now you need to make a password, for instance, save $5 or EEK, or stay in one extra weekend a month. This password ought to be used by you in all instances where you have to enter a password into. This can be done usually for your personal email, your work email, getting into your computer, and even social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter. The password you enter will be something that will be on your mind constantly, whether you realize it or not. You will be surprised by the results that come about in just a few weeks, let alone a few months. Positive thinking. If you have any question in your mind of whether you are a positive person, you doubtlessly have opportunity to get better. Here are some fundamental things you ought to begin doing if you desire to be more positive, or anticipate that good things will happen. Achievement, success, wealth, going on a date, anything that is positive in nature. Furthermore, don't simply consider them happening. You have to completely accept that what you need will definitely come to you. Search for opportunities for your objectives to be arrived at all times and jump on them when you see them. Don't consider if a potential opportunity is just chance or something unrealistic happening. If you have been anticipating that what you need will come, it is most likely the right opportunity. Replace negative thinking processes with positive ones. Regardless of the fact that you began thinking something negative, simply take a deep breath and think the inverse, positive thought. Quit hanging out with negative-minded people. They empty you every day and keep you from arriving at your inspiration positive potential. This gets difficult if your good companions are negative and unwilling to change, however you have to withdraw yourself from all pessimism. Antagonistic people are troubles and burdens. Before beginning on any new occupation or movement, consider the positive result that you need to originate from what you are doing. Don't, under any circumstances, Let yourself feel fear, failure or disappointment, otherwise your apprehension will work out negatively. Oh, do things that make you feel pleasant and upbeat. If you don't feel like doing some particular thing, don't do it. This does not imply that you ought to just target over your satisfaction, since you will definitely need to do things for other people that don't bring you pleasure. Oh, in any case, as you get to be more of a positive person, you will find that even exercises that irritated or exhausted you in the past will be at least tolerable, if not charming. If you are someone that doesn't like doing push-ups, you could create a password such as "do 5 push-ups every day." You may start out by doing 1 or even 2, but eventually by the end of the week you will have the willpower to keep going. Oh, no more saying "I can't," but instead say "I can." Indeed, you think "I can" is difficult enough, but you know that you can do it. Everything is conceivable with hopefulness and optimism. Oh, walk and sit with an erect spine and shoulders back. Good posture results in trust, confidence and hence optimism. Also practice some routine exercise consistently, regardless if it is a simple workout. Oh, physical exercise discharges different types of constructive endorphins that can do amazing results for even the most negatively minded people. University of Texas at Austin psychologist and specialist James Payabaker demonstrates that regularly remembering positive and creative thoughts fortifies immune cells. Payabaker accepts that making secret creative passwords to solve unpleasant occasions helps you deal with them, subsequently lessening the effect of these stresses on your physical well-being. Scientific proof demonstrates that creative and positive thoughts give some other unforeseen benefits. The act of making a creative and unique password for yourself and its repetition gets to your left brain, which is analytical and rational. While your left mind is involved, your right brain is free to create and feel. The chosen secret password uproots blocks in the mind and permits you to use the maximum efficiency of your mental aptitude to better comprehend yourself, others and your surroundings. Science of password therapy. Acceptance. Research is in continuation to discover that positive thinking is considerably more beneficial than simply being joyful or showing a blissful mental state. Positive thoughts can really increase self-esteem in your life and help you create aptitudes and skills that last much longer than a pleasant personality. The power of positive thinking has a foundation in physical science. Since everything is energy and everything has a particular vibration, and on the grounds that like attracts like, the nature of your thoughts can't resist the opportunity to pull in circumstances with comparative situations. You can observe that the vibrations of your surroundings and circumstances influence your own specific decisions. That is genuine, yet just if you permit them to. You can see the high vibrations of love and bliss has much more power than the low vibrations of fear and antagonism. Since everything is energy and everything has a particular vibration, and on the grounds that like pulls like, the nature of your thoughts can't resist the opportunity to pull in circumstances with comparable vibrations. What we don't do, generally, is raise our vibration through positive thinking to the point where accepting is seeing, the point where your thoughts permit the antagonism around you and start affecting your circumstances. Do you see life as a fight or as a struggle? Do you end up judging, whining or criticizing? It is safe to say that you are happy? Or for the most part troubled? If you said yes to any of these, even on some level, you are not alone. That is one way that our lives are similar. We simply don't accept that our thoughts have the ability to impact our physical and emotional reality. We don't have faith in our power of energy. Try to look at some people you appreciate, the ones who appear to have everything. There are a lot of helpless rich people. That is the reason you're recognizing them. They're on your mind to show you that you can carry on with that life as well. So what's the difference between them and others? It's not heredity, fortunes, high education or luck. A portion of the world's most famous people were born into the poorest conditions and had assorted types of obstructions to succeed. So there must be an inner variable at play here. The distinction is the nature of their thinking process. They decide to think emphatically. They decide to think as far as what might be achieved and maintained to go against the view that something is not possible. Regarding probability, there is no limit. It's a matter of your thoughts, your inner world, transcending the conditions of the external world. The positive, effective people decide to see the best in everything. They don't permit outside impacts to disturb their feeling of prosperity and well-being. Also, guess what? The more positively they think, the more they pull together the great things they need in life. Suppose you were to begin giving heartiest thankfulness for everything in your life, the good and the cheerful as well as the terrible, the unnerving, the upsetting, the troublesome, the tormenting. Imagine a scenario where you were to begin seeing the endowments and lessons in everything, and the magnificence in all people. Consider the possibility that you were to understand that your joy does not rely upon anything besides your choice to be upbeat and happy. Imagine a scenario where you said to yourself, I don't need to permit this to pull me down. I can manage this circumstance in a mindset of optimism, good faith and delight of living. Access to mind patterns with password therapy. Is it safe to say that you are prepared to hack your mind? When you are in the state of relaxed mindfulness known as the alpha level, you can begin using talked confirmations, strong positive feelings and imaginative visualization. Initially, the only effort you have to do is to choose your desired password, basically your goal of what you want to change or improve. You can type the chosen password in everything you use daily. Some of these include your email password, your login password to your computer, but can also include any other sites you use on a regular basis, which may include social media such as Facebook and Twitter passwords. The next step is just entering the password you chose into each login on a consistent basis. Yes, it's that basic. It's simple, yet it takes perseverance and daily practice for 1 to 2 months. Some people may see improvements in 2 to 3 weeks, while others may see improvements after the 2-month period. That may appear as a considerable measure of work, however 10 times of the reiteration of the given goal a day of the centered password goal as we will call it is not a huge amount of time. During the short time period of achieving a goal, it is really not much time when you factor in that it takes less than 10 seconds to enter a password usually, so the number of total hours spent in motivating and recreating yourself is probably less than 10 hours total. Compare that to the 4 hours on average that people spend watching television every day. Which one is going to get you to achieve your goals? The one where you are changing your thoughts or the one where you mindlessly follow a TV reality show? The truth of the concept is that thoughts produce feelings. Feelings are the most motivational compelling force out there and are the major factor in decision making. Along these lines, you can perceive how such a little investing in yourself is worth pressing out of an occupied day. The everyday routine goes like this: enter the thoughtful state, concentrate on what you want, and use imaginative visualization, positive feelings and positive energy towards oneself. This will help in creating new goals and new passwords to use. Hold that thought/picture/feeling as long as you can. During the 30 to 60 days, you'll feel like that new secret password is natural and a part of you. Obviously the verification is in your activities. When you begin being consistent about taking new openings and looking for approaches to make your goals happen, you know you're on the right path. It is our subconscious that allows us to make the changes we want to see in our lives. Seeing and typing a password multiple times each day, in the form of a goal you want to achieve, helps make a significant change in your life, without you even actively having to think about it. Don't get baffled amid the password therapy. It is true that once you have achieved one goal, it won't just disappear when you try to achieve a new one with a different password in place. Natural unity attitude of children. Take inspiration and encouragement from little children. Their creative imaginations and impulses are as unlimited as the universe. They think as far as conceivable outcomes and possibilities. Certainly, They don't have obligations or responsibilities, however they also don't have the freedom to do what they need. You can do it, in the event that you decide to. The effective people in life have the obligations and responsibilities, however some way or another, things all fall into place for them, since the positive attitude decides the course of their lives. Would you rather associate with people who are euphoric and pleasant, or people who talk negative and agonize? Which ones do you naturally incline towards? If you find that people around you are domineeringly negative, regardless if it's not their outer personality, then that affects your specific current output. Keep in mind, like attracts like, and the people, whose negativity surround them, are not getting and experiencing the pleasures out of life. A child who runs in the field, swinging on tree branches and playing with friends, creates the capacity to move physically, physical abilities, the capability to play with others and communicate with a social group, social aptitudes, and the capability to elaborate and look at their natural surroundings, inventive and creative aptitudes. As such, the positive feelings of play and happiness incite the child to enhance aptitudes that are valuable and beneficial in normal life. These aptitudes keep going longer than the feelings that enhanced them. Later in life, that establishment of physical development may form into a genius as a national player, or the relational abilities may bloom into an occupation offer as a business chief. The bliss that enhanced the creation and making of new aptitudes has since a long time ago finished, yet the basic and past abilities live on. Positive thinking isn't simply a delicate and cushy feel-great term. Yes, it's good to essentially be blissful, yet those moments of bliss are likewise discriminating for opening your mental efficiency to elaborate and enhance the abilities that get to be so essential in various parts of your life. Expanding your views on how to get happiness, satisfaction and positive feelings into your life, whether it is through yoga, meditation, writing, playing games, or other possibilities, gives more than simply a momentary decrease in anxiety and stress. Times of positive feeling and unhindered investigation are the point at which you see the conceivable outcomes for how your past experiences adjust into your future life. When you start to improve aptitudes that bloom into helpful abilities later on, and when you start the urge for further exploration and experiences. Vibrational energy. Everything is energy, and all that we can see, listen, touch, taste and smell is a form of diverse wavelengths vibrating at distinctive frequencies. Our mind is similar to an interpreter that can decipher these frequencies into what we see to be our physical personality. So we express the condensed energy as an animal, or a tree, or someone else. We see them as physical or solid, yet break them to their smallest particles and they're all simply energy. There are non-physical energies also, obviously. Our thinking process, for instance, is simply distinctive vibrations energy. Each time you think something, you convey that thought's specific vibration. In the event that a thought makes you feel good, then it's a positive thought, it is vibrating at a higher frequency. If a thought makes you feel bad, it's a negative thought, it's vibrating at a lower frequency. In this way, I dislike you has a much lower frequency than I cherish you, for instance. The more awareness you provide for a thought, the more thoughts of the similar vibration will go along with it. This is the law of attraction in activity, where like attracts like. As the vibration develops, it gets to be stronger, steadier, and more able to attract others with the similar frequencies. The more consideration you give to a subject, the simpler it gets to be to ponder it, and the more proof you see in your surroundings supporting your thoughts about it. If you think the world is an unpleasant place and give more time viewing negative news, searching for repulsive and pitiful stories and spending hours conversing with others about how the world is going in a downwards trend, more stories supporting this surrounding perspective will find you. At those negative situations, if you meet somebody who thinks the world is a sublime spot, they're presumably going to bother you. The vitality of their thoughts is totally strange to you. The thinking process structure is a collective vibration. Some of your thoughts are more negative and some are more positive. However, the greater parts of your thoughts are going to be in virtually the same range. If you think overwhelmingly positive thoughts, your natural vibration is going to be higher than if you think negative thoughts. What's more is this collective vibration will influence what thoughts or vibrations you have admittance to. If you are an overwhelmingly negative person, you'll have a difficult time thinking merry, sunshiny, cheerful thoughts. It's not impossible, yet it's very troublesome. Thus, would we say we are then simply an accumulation of our thoughts? Not so much. We are pure and positive energy. Our natural being is one of the higher vibrations. In this way, if you have no thoughts, as in the moments of meditation, you will naturally come back to that high frequency. Any thought which digresses from this high vibration, however, will have the impact of bringing your natural vibration down. The thing to remember, however, is that we can carefully choose which thoughts to think. We don't need to be helpless before our thoughts, giving them a chance to determine collective vibrations. We can change our vibration frequencies as and when required with the password goal. For example, the passwords you could use to make a small change in your life, if you wanted to get more yoga in your daily routine or get some cardio in. Do yoga daily and run 30 minutes each day. Powerful effects of positive vibrations. There are many approaches to raise your vibration, and you can work your path up the emotional level one issue at a time. The most essential thing is to remember that you have the ability to choose your thoughts, and accordingly you have the ability to change your vibration and how you feel. Make a decision to yourself today that you will no more endure not feeling good, not being who you truly are. Rejuvenate your energy and carefully decide to feel the way you were always intended to. You should feel good, it's your natural state. You should simply permit yourself to come back to it. Each thought or emotion has a vibration that could be measured. The reason you need to raise these vibrations is to get sufficiently high to associate with the power of Supreme. That place is the sweet spot where you feel bliss and joy, and your fantasy life will turn into your existence. What you may fail to see inside is a consequence of how you decide to process everything and everybody in your reality. You anticipate onto the world what you see inside, and you cannot express to the world what you fail to see inside. If you realized that you were an interpretation of the widespread souls of Supreme, which is the thing that you'd see, you'd raise your energy level beyond any limit of encumbrances to your association with the power of Supreme. It is just dissension acting inside your sentiments that will ever deny you of each great thing that life kept for you. If you comprehend this simple perception, you'll control obstructions to intention. There is a prevalent phrase that goes, thoughts get to be things. Pick the great ones. Each and every thought that comes into your mind has an effect on you. When you change those thoughts and think positive, joyful, sparkly thoughts, they get to be things as well. This won't occur overnight, or possibly it will. We're all distinctive. Begin with the single inspirational thought and start actualizing it from that point. At the point when a negative thought comes into your mind, thank it for showing up and reject it. Place password. Many years of exploration has demonstrated that password therapy applies to nearly every part of commonplace life, and might be used to help people feel more satisfied, stay away from nervousness and stress, become hopelessly enamored and live joyfully ever after, stay slim, build their determination and certainty, and even abate the impacts of maturing. Regardless of a shortage of time, take some moments to be completely silent. Silent awareness is a period when you interface with a higher power of Supreme and with your instinct. Initially there is some difficulty sitting still and clearing your mind, thinking process, which implied that you have to make this practice a necessity. It doesn't make a difference how you do it or to what extent you do it, the only thing that matters is that you do it. Some nourishment vibrates low and some vibrates high. If the nourishment you consume is secured in pesticides, it will abandon you, leaving you feeling weaker, and so will the processed nourishments. The great, high-vibration nourishments are fresh fruits, veggies, nuts, soy, and pure olive oil. On the low-vibration nourishments are flour-based cereals, high-fat dairy products, and sugars. This is not generally valid for everybody. Truly giving careful consideration to how you feel instantly after consuming something is the genuine test. Begin giving careful consideration. Liquor vibrates low. You may find some people who vibrate low as well. They also do medications or are searching for medications. Music of disdain, torment, violence, dramatization and trepidation send messages to your subconscious mind. If you need to pull in affection, listen to melodies about true, enthusiastic or enduring adoration. If you need peace, listen to music about peace and relaxation. If you need to drink in excess, crash your car, get undermined by your sweetheart, and get in a battle, listen to classic or down-home music. The suggested password may be take 20 minor test or lax daily. You're in your home a lot of the time, which will influence your vibration. Requests to God, paintings, photography, gems, statues, rocks, books, magazine, flowers, plants, shades on the wall, and even the way your furniture is organized all make energy. Some shows on TV are savage dramatizations that concentrate on this present reality. It's a steady flow of antagonism brought directly to your home. On top of that, there are advertisements that have you require pills to solve your issues and also advertisements showing that you need to purchase costly jewelry to show somebody you love them. You can raise your specific energy levels by accompanying people who vibrate exceptionally high. Decide to surround yourself with the people who are engaging, have the same ethics as you, and perceive the extent to which you do. Your companions are an impression of you. And since you are clearly magnificent, your companions must be almost as amazing. Donate some cash to somebody less blessed than you. Give to them a reason you have faith in. Send a mindful blessing to somebody you haven't communicated with in years. Give a barrel to a monastery. Don't do it for any of the expectations. Do it because of the graciousness of your heart feeling. Excusing and having sympathy for somebody who harms you may be the most difficult thing for you to do on this password therapy, however it's a standout amongst the most essential. You are no longer the victimized person and your abuser keeps none of your energy. Thoughts of reprisal are low vibrations while thoughts of forgiveness are of high vibrations. Simply by thinking of forgiving somebody in your past without making any move will raise your vibration. Christopher Chabrik, psychology professor at Union College, and Daniel Simons, psychology research director at the University of Illinois, demonstrated that whatever you experience in life is an immediate after effect of your thoughts. It truly is that simple. If you think about being fat, you will get fatter. If you consider slim people, you will get to be thin yourself. As indicated by their experimented evidences, your thoughts and sentiments have magnetic properties and frequencies. They vibrate and resound with the surroundings, by one means or another pulling in incidents that are harmonious with those frequencies over to their thinking process. Improve your life, getting in shape. Good faith and optimism can improve your immunity. Recently, scientists have shown that your mind can have an effective impact on your body. Immunity is one part of the body systems where your thoughts and thinking process of mind can have an especially effective impact. In one study, scientists found that actuation in mind areas connected with negative feelings prompted a weaker immune reaction to influenza stimulation. Scientists found that people who were optimistic around the essential phases of their lives, for instance, how well they were performing in school, displayed a stronger immune reaction than the people who had a more negative perspective of the circumstances. Positive thinking is good for your well-being. Positive intuition cannot just affect your capability to adapt to tense situations and immunity, it also has an effect on your general prosperity and well-being. The scientists report various well-being benefits related with positive thinking. including lessened problems of heart issues, depression, and an increased lifespan. While scientists are not so clear on why constructive and positive intuition benefits well-being, some propose that creative people may result in healthier lifestyles. By adapting better to tense moments and staying away from unhealthy practices, you can enhance your well-being and prosperity. It can make you more flexible. Flexibility refers to our capacity to adapt to regular issues. Flexible people can confront a crisis or difficult situation with strength, quality and resolution. As opposed to going away even with such tense moments, they can bear on and eventually overcome such unfavorable situations. It may be a surprise to no one to find that positive thinking can assume a major role in flexibility. At the point when facing a challenge, self-confident and optimistic people normally take a gander at what they can do to settle the issue. As opposed to giving up hope, they generate their resources and are ready to approach others for help. Scientists have also observed that in the wake of an emergency, for instance, a terrible situation or natural disaster, positive thoughts and feelings support prospering and give a kind of cushion against sadness among flexible people. Luckily, scientists also accept that such optimism and flexibility might be developed. By supporting positive thoughts and feelings, even despite terrible situations, people can procure both in present and long-term rewards, including lessening anxiety levels, reducing despondency, and building adapting aptitudes and skills that will serve them well later on. Resultant thoughts. Before you put on those rose-colored glasses, it is imperative to note that positive thinking process is not about taking the overconfident approach to life. Truth be told, scientists have found that in a few cases, optimism may not serve you well in all the incidents. For instance, people who are exorbitantly optimistic may overestimate their capabilities and tackle more than they can cope with, at last prompting more stress and nervousness. As opposed to ignoring the reality of the difficult situations for the silver covering, scientists propose that positive thinking process focuses on such things as a confidence in your capabilities, a positive plan to difficulties and challenges, and attempting to make the best of difficult situations. Terrible things will happen and sometimes you will be baffled or hurt by the activities of others. This does not imply that the social circle is out to get you or that all people will disappoint you. Rather, positive people will take a gander at the circumstances practically, look for ways that they can enhance the circumstances, and attempt to gain from their experiences. Getting in shape with password therapy. Inspirational state of mind is the reason for achievement and joy. An inspirational state of mind helps you to adapt effortlessly to the day-by-day routines of life. It brings confidence into your life, and makes it less demanding to diminish stresses and negative thoughts. In the event that you receive it as a lifestyle, it will bring valuable progressions into your life, and makes them more content, brighter and more effective. It is suggested to create one password initially, then move on once you have reached that goal. For instance, wake up at 6 am tomorrow if you want to improve waking up earlier, or sleep at 10 p.m. to sleep earlier at night to get more sleep. With an inspirational state of mind you see the brilliant side of life, get idealistic, and anticipate that the best will happen. It is surely a state of mind that is well worth creating. Inspirational state of mind shows in the ways: positive thinking process, creative thoughts, positive imaginations, optimism, the inspiration and vitality to do things and accomplish objectives. A positive outlook helps in a considerable measure of courses, for instance, expecting achievement and not disappointment. It makes you feel propelled. It provides for you the quality not to surrender even if you experience hindrances on your path. You view disappointment and issues as surprise blessings. Believing in yourself and in your abilities, you demonstrate more respect toward yourself and trust. You search for results as opposed to harping on issues. You see and perceive good fortunes. An inspirational mentality prompts joy and achievement and can change your entire life. In the event that you take a gander at the splendid side of life, your entire life gets filled with light. This light influences not just you and the way you take a gander at the world, however it also influences your entire surroundings and the people around you. If this disposition is strong enough, it gets dissolved in the surroundings. It's similar to transmitting light around you. It's hazy why people who take part in positive intuition experience these well-being benefits. One hypothesis is that having an uplifting viewpoint empowers you to adapt better to distressing circumstances, which lessens the unsafe well-being impacts of anxiety on your body. It's also felt that positive and idealistic people have a tendency to live healthier lifestyles. They get more physical action, take after a healthier eating regimen, and don't smoke or drink alcohol in excess. Basic tips for creating an inspirational attitude. Enter your password in as many times in a given month to really make it stick outside of the login. Choose to be cheerful. Yes, it is a matter of decision. At the point when negative thoughts enter your mind, simply reject them, substituting them with cheerful thoughts. Look at the splendid side of life. It's a matter of decision and rehashed endeavors. Choose to be idealistic. Find motivations to grin all the more regularly. You can find such reasons, if you search for them. Have confidence in yourself, and accept that the universe can help you. Associate yourself with cheerful and positive-minded people. Visualize just what you need to happen and stay away from what you don't need. Learn to practice meditation. You can get mindful of your thoughts, and transform them. You have the ability to decide to think cheerful, positive thoughts, with your chosen passwords, and raise your vibration. By raising your vibration, your circumstances will rapidly start improving and your life will bloom. By helping the mind cortex to produce specific brain waves with the chosen password, we can instigate harmonious states of similar emotions, contingent upon what we aim to do, clarifies Paris-based clinical psychologist Dr. Brigitte Fajau. The mind is extremely complicated and there are many components included in the feelings of pleasure, yet it's not surprising that research demonstrates that the dopamine secretion is related with sentiments of joy. In case we're feeling anxious or stressed, we can enhance our cerebral cortex to create slow alpha-frequency mind waves, while if we pick a password to help our cortex to generate speedier beta waves, we will be better prepared to focus and concentrate our attention on a decently lengthy task. Physical, mental and emotional healing. Password therapy, a manifestation of hypnotizing toward oneself, is a device anybody can use to help cultivate recuperating. Password therapy works by using particular sound wave frequencies to drive brain action to a particular state or level. The frequencies prepare the two sides of your mind to cooperate and balance one another, subsequently permitting your brain to accomplish a level of an action that was a while ago unrealistic. Password therapy helps to balance the mind. This empowers people to enhance the way they rest, think, work, and learn. Some exploration has even backed the use of password help in the treatment of addictions, as the brain recollects the given password all the time because of its repetition. Having a balanced brain relaxes a person, it diminishes fear and nervousness, and improves memory. Will you use password therapy to improve your life? The short answer is, yes. In and of it, password therapy will relax you, open your brain to new creative ideas, inspire you and let you think all the more creatively. Those are essential benefits that are worth experiencing. The password therapy is an essential part of a self-improvement program. It is not going to make you bring an end to good propensities, get to be all the more comfortable or show what you need. Notwithstanding, if you anticipate making out any compelling improvements during your life, you need to make the password to execute the mental space to permit that to happen. You need to change the way you think so that you start seeing the consequences of that new thinking in your life. Sitting there saying, "I'm going to change the way I think," won't work. You need to go past what you think deliberately, and into the hidden longings files of your intuitive personality, where your suggestions live. Your mind is 95% unconscious and just 5% is conscious. Surmise which has more, attraction or desire, on your activities. The issue is the point at which you're caution and conscious. The password to those archives is no place to be found. When you are awake and conscious, you are not as responsive to new ideas and plans as you may accept, basically on the grounds that your old molding may reject the new ideas or thoughts. Does our thinking process have an effect on healing? The nervous system is a very effective framework that is joined with each cell in your body by billions of connections. It is separated into two sides. The left brain is the logical side and it is related with reasoning and rational thoughts. B. The right brain is creative side and is related with intuition and imagination. Regular circumstances normally are met in the logical left brain, however by cooperating with the right brain, the imaginative side of the brain, we re-establish harmony in the brain. This permits access to the mind-body association which accomplishes what you need. The right side of the cerebrum consequently directs you to your objective. It completely accepts what you need to perform without giving any suggestion and follows up on it without judgment. That is the reason visualization focuses on the right brain, the imaginative side of the mind, and not the left, that is the logical side. Positive thought is basic to delivering positive results. Negative thoughts and feelings bring down the immunity system, while positive thoughts and feelings help to enhance immunity system. Our bodies react to distinctive thoughts and feelings. The chemical secretions in our bodies change depending upon which sorts of thoughts and feelings we are having. At the point when a person ponders solace and joy and feels confident about existence, the body changes into a relaxed state where certain secretion progressions happen and healing can happen. When a person is angry, various secretion progressions happen in the body causing stress on different organs, particularly the liver and pancreas. If these negative feelings proceed for a long time, disease can result. The science of the mystery of our bodies is the relationship between our sensory system and our mind. In our bodies, the central sensory system performs instructions both voluntarily and non-voluntarily. Such as our hearts work naturally without any instructions from our mind. However, a person can change the working, beat rate, of the heart, either slowing or increasing the heartbeat through visualization practices in the mind. When a person gets terrified, his heartbeat increases, and when he is meditating, the heartbeat slows down. In the same way, certain non-voluntary functions of the body could be balanced by the mind. Customary medicine treats the body as though the mind and feelings don't have any impact on functions of the body. For instance, when arteries get narrowed, medicines are endorsed to unblock the narrowed passage. Substitutes are prescribed in regard to the sort of nourishment to be consumed. Be that as it may, the emotions which were one part of the reason for the concerned disease are ignored. Currently, conventional medication differentiated the treatment of the body, mind and emotions as though they didn't influence one another. The medical scientists are simply starting to take a gander at the relationship of body, mind and emotions and their effect on well-being. We can't choose which sentiments we will or we won't have as they are programmed. They provide for us quick suggestion about how a specific person or circumstance is influencing us. Normally an emotion we are feeling right now is connected to the current circumstance as well as to a circumstance which happened quite a long way back. Past emotions that have not been managed have an immediate impact on our responses to circumstances in today. Feelings that are suppressed or stifled remain in our bodies, in our tissues, organs, muscles, organs and body frameworks. They leave when we refeel or relive them and release them. It is termed as catharsis of body, mind and emotions during the regimen of meditation. There are two basic feelings in all the people with different degrees of intensity: love and fear. Satisfaction, delight, joy, happiness, and acceptance are some examples of love-based emotions. Nervousness, displeasure, distress, detachment, astringency, desire, crabbiness, wretchedness, dismissal, and pity are some examples of fear-based feelings. Our bodies discharge various chemicals when we feel these two types of emotions. What is an emotion or feeling, and by what method would we be able to work with them? A feeling is a response to a person, circumstance or protest in our lives, genuine or envisioned. It is a response to what is before us or to a memory of a similar incident in the past. Most of the people are anxious about the emotions, as if we truly feel them we will lose control. Alternately, we expect that if we start to feel an emotion, this process will never stop. We frequently deny our sentiments and imagine they aren't there. We deny them, quell them, and repress them. We believe that by imagining they're not there they'll go away by themselves. Yet sentiments which are not confronted and experienced never go away. They are hidden alive, prepared to jab their heads out and rise up to the surface the moment they have an opportunity. People may intend to hold emotions stuffed down and stifled. We smoke cigarettes, drink liquor in excess, use soothing drugs, eat in excess, and partake in unrequited sex relations. These exercises are used to repress the emotions. Staying continually self-occupied is an alternate approach to keep from feeling our sentiments. People who are constantly occupied and experience a problem sitting quietly by them generally experience difficulty in controlling their sentiments. People are more open to argue or discussing their sentiments as opposed to facing their emotions. We investigate them, flip around them back to front, and break down our sentiments to the subtle element. At the same time, we put a great effort to abstain from feeling our sentiments. Stifled and repressed sentiments don't go away. They can contort your present personality and make disease and sickness in your body. If you don't experience specifically and sincerely with yourself and your feelings, you, in the long run, get to be detached from yourself and society. You have permitted significant parts of yourself to clear out, and the uplifting news is you can bring them back. To heal the emotional wounds, we should first understand of their nature and that they exist. We must face up to what has happened, or is occurring to damage us, and be ready to do what needs to manage it. That is a test in itself, as we tend to imagine that things are an alternate way. We need to ignore it and trust that things will show signs of improvement. Most often we are anxious about what the people in our society will consider us to be if we confess to what is not working up to expectations for us. Most times we are anxious about what will happen to our lives if we begin to make improvements in it. We feel insecure about the unknown, regardless of the fact that what we exist with is harmful and damaging to us and our friends and family. The human body has its own specific self-stimulants. Natural secretion released in our bodies and brains. Endorphins decreases pain in the body, eliminates anxiety and stress, gives joy, improves memories, and determines what suggestion we permit into our brains. Dr. Robert Heath, head of the Neurology and Psychiatry Division at Tulane University School of Medicine, was the first to embed electrodes in the human mind. He found that the mind feeling, delight or torment, is capable for overpowering or restraining other stimuli. Hence, pleasure can overcome depression or torment, and vice versa. Power of positive passwords. The happiest people some way or another know how to cushion themselves by keeping life's inescapable difficulties from ruining the good feelings, and these people are likely to be the healthiest people too. This area fills you in on the developing evidence that you may have the capacity to enhance your physical well-being simply by changing the way you contemplate your life. All the suggestions to keep the sunny side up, yet if you need to be healthy, looks all warm and fluffy, yet just great to be genuine. Really, the evidence demonstrates that your attitude about existence can enhance your well-being and even speed up your recuperation from an incurable disease or surgery. The attitudes that appear to help the most are hopefulness, positive attitude, trust, and, most importantly, an inclination that you have some specific effect on the nature of your life. It is not suggested that you ought to deny life's darker side or perceive each disaster as a blessing, Anyway, when the disaster does strike, do whatever it takes not to give in to depression or inescapable. Presuming that you have been chosen out for torment, declining to see any silver lining, and relinquishing all trust may not just be a solution for the cause. Such mentality is also not a good approach to experience life. Try to perceive that your melancholy and torment, however genuine and profound, are just a piece of a bigger picture, and that this picture incorporates many components of joy, achievement, and significance. An alternate method is to attempt to utilize your negative happenings for good. Some people, who have experienced life-undermining and serious diseases including malignancy, cancer, heart issues, and so forth, say that they consider their sickness to be a blessing. The disease taught them to esteem every day, feel the moments, and get their necessities straight. At times they run across the idea that they have the ability to do things they never realized that they could. State of mind most likely appears to impact the duration of sickness. At the same time, some people take this connection too far and make you feel that your negative attitude of mind brought about your disease or is keeping you from the mending process. Walk the other way if anybody makes you feel remorseful for being diseased or treats your physical sicknesses as though they were emotional or mental issues. The brain, source of all thought patterns. There are effective energies at work in the brain that help drive responses and impulses. It has long been realized that stress assumes a significant part in numerous types of issues: gorging, uneasiness, discouraged, depression, outrage responses, and even addictions. Anxiety will amplify your issue when it pushes you to respond to a circumstance with the same path, again and again. Each time you arrive at it for a nibble to quiet down, or let yourself harp on your reasons for alarm, you really make and fortify neural pathways in the brain. These pathways are slightly like grooves in a well-worn street. Once made, you can take the tracks effectively. However, it is to a great degree hard to haul out of them. So it gets to be increasingly hard to oppose these undesirable urges or responses. It turns into an endless loop. Each time you respond, the grooves simply get deeper. In the long run, your mind gets stuck in the on position and your undesirable propensity turns into a consistent pestering urge, and appears difficult to dispose of. Changing these negative emotions or responses is to a great degree troublesome, since the source is frequently oblivious. You don't completely comprehend it, you can just feel it as an extreme enthusiastic weight that communicates as a wild hankering or a brain fixated on stress. Until the wellspring of this anxiety is assuaged, the neural pathway inside the mind stays dynamic and the undesirable urge or feeling stays solid. The password programmer is you. Your secret phrase to achieve your goal is the chosen password. Meditation runs as an inseparable unit with password therapy. To get to the intuitive, you need to enter a balanced state of consciousness that makes the right mental space for changing the old programming. Entering a changed state of awareness, like password, permits new thoughts to be promptly accepted. Password therapy permits you to hack into your brain, sidestep the old programming and put in new programming because of the reiteration of the chosen password. For creating positive passwords, you can begin with, sit a erect pose, sing lyrics when stressed. You can change your state of consciousness using music, musical instruments. Tedious drumming has been utilized for a long time to do people in a daze, customary contemplation music. Music and regular meditation are extraordinary for modifying your state of awareness, however you may have some difficulty staying in the coveted state. The response for the greater part of us may be mind wave entrainment. The mind synchronizes with the sound, in few moments, you are in deep meditation. Brainwave entrainment innovation uses particular frequencies implanted within the soundtrack to guide your mind to the exact state you wish to enter. At that point, it keeps your brain there as long as you wish. Here's a concise breakdown of the attributes of the different states of awareness: gamma, euphoria, bliss, unity; beta, focus/fixation; consideration, sharpness, explanatory/sensible considering. Alpha, creativity, imaginative critical thinking, right mind considering, meditation, relaxation, instinct, creative visualization and openness to programming toward oneself. The two halves of the area of the brain cooperated contrastingly when sound waves were acquainted with the body through both the ears, as is the situation with earphones. The two sides of the mind would work to hear not the two outer sound indicators, but instead a third indicator known as the binaural beat. This procedure would push the brain into an uplifted state of imagination and relaxation. This state is otherwise called alpha. This disclosure prompts the production of password therapy. Theta, superadapting, deep meditation, conscious dreaming sleep. Delta, deep dreamless sleep. Immunity. Your mind cycles in and out of these states very quickly for the duration of the day. That is actually the reason that sometimes you will have a flash of inspiration. Your brain has just plunged into alpha for a second or two. For self-awareness and growth, to change undesirable propensities, discharge apprehensions, and engrave new creativity and thoughts, the alpha level is the most essential. The work of password therapy is very effective in this state. These brainwave states could be accomplished using password therapy. Different benefits incorporate deep relaxation, anxiety relief, fast, and improvement of instinct feeling, clarity of thinking process, crest execution, elevated creativeness and spiritual progress. The most widely recognized use for password therapy are curing addictions and evolving beliefs. All of the energies inside you have been accepted in the meditation science. It's not for removing anything whatsoever, yet for the transformation. That claims the first stage is actually to adopt the nature of acceptance. Whatever you do is merely around the outer boundary, and in the center a person continues to be part of Supreme. Can password therapy actually improve your life? Mauricio Estrella, a creative director in Shanghai, is an example of someone who has used password therapy to change his life. He utilized personal goals to make an affirmation, and it turned into a huge factor from the force of positive thinking. It was 2011 and he was stuck in the center of a really awful sadness because of his divorce. Appreciatively, he supposes he was courageous enough, so he dealt with it. He said, "I'm going to utilize a computer password to change my life." His password turned into an indicator. His password reminded him that he shouldn't let himself be a casualty of his recent separation, and that he is strong enough to make a move. His password became, "Forgive at H3R." He typed this password a few times each day when logging into his computer at work. Each time his screensaver with his wife's photograph would show up. Each time he would return. In his mind, he continuously remembers the mantra that he didn't type a password. In his brain, he composed, "Pardon her," consistently, for 1 month. That simple activity changed the way he thought about his ex-wife. That consistent update that he ought to pardon her headed him to accept the way things happened at the end of his marriage, and grasp another method for managing the misery that he was suffocating into. 1 month later, his Exchange server asked him again to re-establish his password. He contemplated what the next thing was that he wanted to accomplish. His password became, "Quit at smoking forever." And imagine what happened. He quit smoking almost immediately. This password was a tormenting one to type that month, however doing it helped him to shout at himself in his brain, in his subconscious, as he wrote that statement. It motivated him to actually quit smoking. Along these lines, he discovered that he can really change his life if he plays it right. He continued doing this over and again quite a long time, with incredible results. This technique has reliably worked for him during the last 2 years, and he has shared it with a couple of close companions and relatives. He didn't think it was a leap forward in minor propensities, yet it did have an incredible effect in his life, so that is the reason it is being shared with all of the people. If you try this password therapy technique with the right mentality and demeanor, it could very well change your life as well. Benefits in your routine life that password therapy may give: it helps you attain objectives and achieve success. It brings more bliss into your life. It creates more vitality. Positive state of mind increases your confidence level in your capacities, and brings trust for a brighter future. You get ready to motivate and inspire yourself as well as other people. You experience less snags and troubles in your everyday life. You get more appreciation and adoration from the people. Your life seems to smiles at you. If you have been showing a negative state of mind and expecting disappointment and troubles, it is the right time to change the way you think. The time is now to dispose of negative thoughts and conduct and lead a more happily, satisfied and fruitful life. Why not begin today? If you have attempted and fizzled, it just implies that you have not attempted enough. The well-being benefits of password therapy include increased lifespan, lower level of depression, lower levels of difficulties, greater imperviousness to routine life, better mental and physical prosperity, reduced danger of heart issues, better adapting aptitudes during difficult situations and stressful moments, adopting small steps towards your goals. One password therapy practice that is easy to do consistently is positive insistence. You may not know it yet, but an insistence is something positive that you say to something that is already taking place, and it might be a helpful device to use to transform the way that you think from negative to positive. What you do is think of a couple of articulations of choosing the password from your goals, like, save $10 or I can meditate every morning. If you need to stay positive in your life, here are certain mild activities you can do daily to begin. When you inevitably make these a propensity, you will feel it roll out improvements in the way you see things, and it will help you live a more content life. Go out for a morning walk or go to the workplace early so you can spend time for a walk. Appreciate and enjoy nature while walking and observe little joys you see on your way, greenery of the trees and the morning breeze. Take your time to feel them. Be grateful. Like the great things during your life and remember to say thank you to each and every favor given to you. Being appreciative transmits a constructive positive vitality to the people who get it and leaves an experience of lightness in you. One of the simplest positive intuition practices you can do: give blessings to your heart. Make a list of the things you like doing or you need to do and relish the feeling of being energized. Make a list of what you need to do during the day, or make a list you had always wanted. If you are imagining taking a long drive or you need to take an exciting excursion at a tropical shore, or enjoying your most loved ice cream after lunch, it will provide you an extraordinary feeling of fervor and help you contemplate many positive things in life. Always use positive words. Quit saying, "I can't," or "issues," or "inconveniences." Be imaginative with how you express things. Positive intuition activities can begin from the words you say regularly. Use positive insistences and let yourself know you should be upbeat. If you need affection flowing in your life, let yourself know that you smile in the adoration you see and feel daily. If you need to generate self-confidence, let yourself know that you are unique, creative and inventive. You can make use of subliminal suggestions through creative TV shows, and you can also go to workshops of positive assertions so you can make it into a propensity. Listen to an inspiring tune or read a creative quote on a regular basis. You can start up with positive thinking by putting a password in your work area or having a motivating playlist that you can listen and feel while you are driving. Benefit something good for your colleagues and it will bring about a significant positive improvement. Giving is positively one of the best positive intuition practices that can help you bring in more positive things in life. Have a decent laugh and observe the amusing kids shows or watch an entertaining comedy TV serial. Aside from being the best medication, laughing can help you begin a magnificent day. Coexist with the people who have uplifting positive viewpoint in life and it will enhance positive impacts around you. They won't just impact your mission to be sure in life, yet it will also help lighten your surroundings. Consider your dream and try to visualize it. Our dreams give satisfaction and fervor to us. Simply considering them provides a positive feeling. Feel the existing situation and the dreams you had always wanted, and you will feel inspired to work towards it. If possible, give some time for morning meditation. Have a comfortable time in your daily routine to let your thoughts float into relaxation. Aside from alleviating you from the anxiety of the day, it will likewise help you create consciousness of yourself and your thoughts. Choose to be joyful, and bliss is a great option. If you decide to be happy, you will be. Surely there are difficulties in this world that you have to succeed, however, if you let these things govern your life, you will be managing them in a routine, as life is a steady clash of various problems with its hidden easy solutions. You should try to concoct unique suggestions or passwords that apply and bode well for you. You should also state them in present situation, and in a positive manner. This might be exceptionally powerful. Listen to classical music in your routine is very successful. It might be any place, it could be in your room or even in the workplace. Your car is an incredible place to listen to this sort of inspiring music. Another action could be to make an entire collection of positive pictures in your living room and surround yourself with them. These sorts of pictures could be anything from positive or inspiring pictures to the positive commitments that you make and note them down on cards. Yet you ought to be always having chosen password reminders of things you think are positive and creative close by at all times. Begin with these basic positive intuition practices consistently, and you will genuinely get a positive result and find out that being happy is without a doubt an option you can make. Using password therapy to relieve stress. Positive thinkers deal successfully with stress. At the point when confronted with stressful situations, positive-minded people adapt more viably than pessimists. In one study, scientists found that when optimists experience unsuccessful, for instance, not getting a position or achievement, they are more prone to concentrate on things they can do to cope with the circumstances. Instead of harping on their disappointments or things that they can't change, they will manage a plan of action and approach others for help and suggestions. On the other hand, pessimists easily accept that the circumstance is out of their control and there is nothing they can do to fix it. The basic reason of anxiety is stress and negative thinking. Looking at this logically, we can comprehend that stress never tackles issues, while it can leave us helpless. Positive people overcome stress all the more effectively, and when you begin to enhance the amount of creative and positive thoughts, anxiety will slowly leave your life. Negative thoughts can visually impair a person's mind. If you change your thoughts from the negative ones into positive, your eyes will be opened and you will see the glass half full, rather than half empty. You will begin to understand the solution and will comprehend that each issue is really a chance to develop. All issues could be settled, and you, at last, will have the capacity to see it. At this moment of inner thinking we should insist our mind to remember our chosen password. Some suggested passwords to improve yourself here could be, don't be angry, and perceive at good acts. At some point people carry on with their existence without knowing how blessed and favored they are. They underestimate things and neglect to be appreciative or thankful. There are laws of nature that apply to life. One of them is, you will reap what you sow. At the point when people live their life complaining and grieving about their fate, without liking the things that they have, then, they risk losing even what they have. While feeling the gratefulness and appreciation towards life can bring a more of the great things to be grateful for into their life. As such we should be grateful and thankful to life, and remember the good fortune given to us. Inspirational and positive attitude will help your motivation and you will begin to attain your objectives easily in no time. Positive intuition will make you look excellent. It happens naturally. Smiling, inviting and upbeat people are always amazingly alluring. Your internal magnificence will shine and will get noticeable on the outside, 2. Stress can be explained as, when the general mental, social or physical well-being of a living being is weakened because of over-arousal or nervousness-generating thoughts. David Siver, 2000. Stresses can lead to anxiety and develop into tension, depression, and disease. Dr. Andrew Weil, a well-known author and doctor, states that, all sickness should be thought to be stress-related until the other evidences of the other disease is found. Even if stress is not the essential reason of sickness, it is most of the time an important influencing factor. Conclusion. As opposed to the incitement of diverse help strategies, for instance brain machines, comprehensive instigation is focused around the acquaintance of vibrations natural and harmonious with the mind. It doesn't mightily accomplish a change of the mind frequency, however, it makes a proposal, an offer that the brain can choose to accept from moment to moment. The obligation regarding that choice lies basically with the part of our mind that we call the thalamus. It demonstrates the impressions that are making in from the outside, for example hearing, sight and sensation, and is then again likewise called the entryway to awareness. The entire world is filled with frequencies, and these structures are the foundation of life on this planet. It is for sure compassion that not many of us comprehend them. To clarify, we all form part of the beta frequency during our everyday routine activities. However, meditation comes in the alpha state, which is a significantly more advanced state. This is exactly the motivation behind why most of the people who begin meditation are not able to succeed, as they find it amazingly difficult to get their mind to work in the alpha state. The chosen password enters in the alpha zone and our personality begins to take the shape accordingly. Positive passwords offer help in improved pre-sleep restoration, boosting your well-being and vitality levels, more quick neural and body recuperation, increased capacity to rest, enhanced transition into sleep, meditation center enhanced, helping relieve of stress, elimination of prolonged weakness in many people, elimination of constant sleep issues, insomnia. Password therapy is the point at which your brain is open to the frequencies harmonious with whatever you are looking for: concentration, relaxation or mending, for giving the chosen password. These suggestions empower your mind frequency to turn and match that specific frequency. There are many people who are cured from serious diseases like a sleeping disorder, endless ache, hypertension, fears, addictions and a lot of more. Some suggestions of the passwords will help you to concentrate or improve your creativity and innovativeness level, while other may help you with social issues or simply bringing you bliss, relaxation and joy. Furthermore, the best part is that password therapy is scientifically proven to be very effective and fruitful. Even if you can tune your mind and body to function in the alpha zone, soon it will result in fluctuating inside the alpha zone, and soon you will reach the theta zone. Thus, the trap lies in holding your brain to work for a consistent or specific time span of the chosen password in the alpha zone, where you will have the capacity to achieve success in your desired goal. If we need to feel genuinely invigorated and open to life's chances, we have to look precisely at our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. We have to distinguish our weaknesses and make those improvements we require, so we are positively energizing at the higher level and getting the enjoyment of life to the maximum level. Each positive thought brings your energy that much nearer to the energies of love. Final words. I want to thank you for downloading this book and reaching the end. Congratulations on taking the first step. Make the small changes discussed in this book, and slowly but surely, you will see the changes you want. Other works: if you like this, I would suggest you check out my other book, called Weight Loss, the best natural weight loss tactics for losing weight and maintaining weight loss afterwards, includes bonus. You can learn how to use password therapy to help you achieve your goals in a unique way, unlike any program. Review. I want to thank you again for downloading this book. If you could take a few seconds and leave a review for this book on Amazon, I would greatly appreciate it. You can click here to go directly to the writer review screen. References. Working at Harvard University in the late 19th century, William James, brother of the author Henry James, theorized that the relationship between the feeling and conduct was a two-sided road, and that conduct can easily result in feeling. As indicated by James, a smiling nature can fulfill you with a feeling of happiness, and glaring can make you feel miserable. On the other hand, to utilize James' most loved method for putting it, you don't run from a bear on the grounds that you are apprehensive about it, yet rather become perplexed about the bear because you run from it. However, in the 1970s, medical clinician James Laird from Clark University chose to put James' hypothesis under important examination. Volunteers were welcomed into the research center and asked to embrace certain facial demonstrations. To make furious articulation, members were asked to draw down their eyebrows and hold their teeth. For the euphoric representation, they were requested to draw back the corners from the mouth. The results were astounding. Precisely as anticipated by James years prior, the members felt essentially more satisfied when they constrained their appearances into grins, and much angrier when they were holding their teeth. Studies headed by Iris Hung from the National University of Singapore had volunteers visit a nearby cafeteria and advised that their attempt to dodge aliment and not purchase sugary snacks. A percentage of the volunteers were asked to make their hand into a fist or contract their biceps muscles, and hence carry on as though they were more inspired. Amazingly, this basic activity made individuals much more inclined to purchase healthy sustenance. Dana Carney, a collaborator professor at Columbia Business School, headed a study where she put volunteers into two gatherings. The people in one gathering were set into forceful postures. Some were situated at work areas, asked to put their feet up on the table, look upside the wall, and interlock their hands behind the back of their heads. Interestingly, those in the other gathering were asked to embrace postures that weren't connected with any pressure or force. Some of these members were asked to place their feet on the floor, with hands in their laps, and take an easy gander at the ground. Only one moment of predominant posturing gave a true enhancement in confidence. Harvard brain science psychologist Ellen Langer has led a lot of people-prominent examinations. One of her most striking included utilizing the as-if principle to turn back the span of time. In 1979, Langer selected a gathering of men in their 70s for a week of memory at a rejuvenation program outside Boston. Prior to the start of the study, Langer checked the men's quality, posture, strength, visual perception and memory. She then urged the men to go about as though they were 20 years old. Within a few days, Langer could see the sensational impact of acting as if. The members were now walking speedier and were more self-confident. Inside a week, a few of the members had chosen that they could now control without their strolling sticks. Langer took different mental and physiological estimations all through the test and found that the gathering now demonstrated changes in mastery, pace of development, memory, pulse rate, visual perception and hearing. Going about as though they were young people had thumped years off their bodies and minds. Many years of exploration has demonstrated that his hypothesis applies to practically every part of normal life, and could be utilized to help people feel more content, keep away from tension and stress, become hopelessly enamored and live joyfully ever after, stay fit, improve their determination and confidence, and even slow the impacts of maturing and aging. In the same way, when you create a positive password and repeatedly enter the same creative chosen password several times in your logins, you are giving that suggestion to your thought process continuously. This repeating of password will slowly become part of your subconscious and result in your desired goals and outcomes.